welcome to another episode of Challenge the Scorpion. And Ben is back, and he's back with the Grey Knights, but this time we asked him who he wanted to fight against, and he said he wanted to play against the new Tyranid force. So it's Grey Knights versus Tyranids. It's a bit of a rare game. It's not often that these two forces fight each other. First time on the channel, and the first time in a Challenge the Scorpion game. So back on the familiar terrain for the Grey Knights. This is their domain, Imperial Sector. Big statue in the middle, massive ammo dump, surrounded by a perimeter fence. That's a kind of a feature in this game. Bunker system just on the left hand side, and then on the right just some ruins and some scrub. So it's kind of an abandoned city. It's in many a war, many a fight. There it is. Grey Knights have fought in this sector before. They dealt with the Dark Elder in style, but now there is a Tyranid infestation. Will they be able to cleanse this area? We will have to see. Alright, welcome to this episode of Challenge the Scorpion, and it's Grey Knights against Tyranids, and this is the Tyranid force, 1850 points. It hasn't changed from the drubbing that it received from James's Imperial Guard and Blood Angel Alliance. So we're back. Forces going to stay as it is. I think we just need to work on tactics. We'll see what happens. So Hive Tyrant here, and he has wings and old adversary special rules, so he'll get to reroll ones in combat and reroll ones to wound as well, and he's got regenerate. And then troops here, Tervigon is taken as a troops choice. It's got regenerate as well, and cluster spines, and then 30 gaunts. And then 3 heavy supports, 2 trigons, and they've got regenerate as well. 1 Morlock that has regenerate, and then 2 broods of lictors, 1 unit of 3, 1 unit of 2. And then 6 Raveners, and they have Rending Claws as well. And then 1 Flyer, a Hive Crone, that has Regenerate as well. And a Drool Cannon and Tentaclids. So it's a small Tyranid force, but it will be an even smaller force of Grey Knights. Who will prevail? Tyranids are out to prove a point in this showdown.
This is my 1850 point Grey Knight army. First we have my HQ, which is Terminator Librarian level 3, with a paladin, 5-man paladin squad with a Brotherhood banner and a heavy Psy cannon. A 5-man Terminator squad with falchions, a false Nemesis false sword and a silencer. And the same again, apart from we have a Psy cannon, heavy weapon. The Vindicare Assassin is back. Right, the first Nemesis Dread Knight has the Nemesis Greatsword and the Gatling Silencer. And the second one, again has a Gatling Silencer, but now has the heavy Incinerator. The Storm Raven gunship has Typhoon missile launcher and Mind Strike missiles and twin link las cannons, and dedicated transport for my librarian and paladins, twin linked assault cannon and Stormbolter as add-ons. That's it.
Right, so Ben's done very well. Some criticised on the last game that he hadn't finished his force. He's completed it. He's been working away, and the outcome's really nice. Such a nice force when it's finished. 2 Dread Knights finished and done. All the Terminators here. Nice job. He's worked really hard on them. So congratulations for Ben for putting the force together. It's a proud moment when your army's finished and ready. Just such a shame that they're going to be devoured alive by the Tyranid swarm. Right, so the scenario, we're actually going to play the Maelstrom of War missions, and this one is called Deadlock. So there's 6 objectives on the table. and we've laid out the deployment zones here. There's a central line of dice running up the table. Tyranids are going to be on the right hand side here, behind this line of red dice that's running up and across there. So Tyranids will be there, and then Ben's Grey Knights are going to be behind this line of cream dice. He won the roll and has decided to go in the bunker network, which makes sense. And there are 6 objectives. Objective number 3 is just there. Objective number 2 is just there. Objective number 5 is just in amongst the blood splatters there. And then objective number 4 is just here. Objective number 1 is just there. And then in the crater here is objective number 6. We're using Ben's nice new objective markers. So it's all very imperial, very official, but the Tyranids are here to spoil the show. So we're going to deployment now, and then the first turn of the game. Right, so the Tyranids are adapting to their environment. They've rolled a 1 here for strategic traits. So the commander, Conqueror of Cities. So we're going to get stealth, and then we're going to get moved through cover as well. So that bodes well. The Tyranids are adapting to their environment, but we'll see if they can adapt to their foe. Right, so deployment for the Grey Knights. The 2 Dread Knights, Ben has put them out. The Paladins of the Librarian are just here, and then a unit of Grey Knight Terminators as well. So he's surrounding the bunker here, and then the Land Raider is just in position here. Both sides are really just waiting to see what objective cards we get before the game begins. And then for infiltrators, he has put the Vindicar Assassin just there on top of the bunker. Commanding view, he's back in his favourite spot, looking out across the table. He's pretty much got a field of view everywhere. Tyranids, just being cautious here. There's quite a lot of disadvantages for us. No invuns, and then all those false weapons against our monstrous creatures. So possibly one of the hardest armies for us to fight against. But anyway, the Tervigon just at the back here, out of trouble, out of line of sight, and then 30 of the Gaunts as well. And just stretching them. We're crowding around objective 4, and then we're almost at objective 1 as well. So that's their job, is to secure and hold those 2 objectives for this game. And then the Lictors, we decided to infiltrate a unit of 3 to try and get them to the bunker, but Ben won the roll off and has claimed the bunker, and we've had to set up 18 inches back. So we're going to try and sprint them in. Again, difficult to know what to do with the Lictors. We'll have to see what happens. The rest of the force, the Storm Ravens flying in for Ben. Those Grey Knight Terminators there are inside the Land Raider. And then for the Tyranids, the Hive Crone is flying on, the Hive Tyrant is flying on. And then the 2 Trigons, Morlock are deep striking. And then the Raveners and Elector Brood will deep strike as well. So we've still got a lot of stuff to come on. It's probably the best option for us. And then I think that the Morlock may be a key unit, but we'll have to see what happens. So we're going to go on now for the first turn in this Challenger Scorpion game. So there's 6 objective cards for us in this game. And what we're going to do is I'm going to reveal what mine are, so you'll know what they are for the whole game. Ben, I can't know what Ben's are, so I'm not going to film it. So Ben's objectives, you'll soon get an idea of what they are as the game goes on, but he'll declare his once he's achieved them. And then I can film mine here. So I've got Domination, number 46, and that's D3 plus 3 objective points if you control every objective marker on the table. So it's a tough one, but it's a high scoring one there. Then there's Hold the Line, you score 1 victory point if at least 3 of your scoring units and none of your opponent's scoring units are within 12 inches of your own table edge. So you've got to control this table edge here with 3 scoring units and none of his. We could do that one on the first turn. And then Supremacy, D3 victory points if you control at least 2 objective markers and at least twice as many objective markers as your opponent controls at the end of your turn. So I need to hold 2 and then or 4 and then to his 2 at least. And then Harness the Warp, score 1 victory point if you successfully manifested a psychic power during your turn. If you successfully manifest 3 or more, and you'll score D3 victory points. So that's doable. We'll try and activate all 3 on our turn. And then securing objectives, number 3 and number 5. So number 3 is just here. Try and secure that objective. That's not too bad. And then number 5 is just there. So that's the that's the idea of the game for the Tyranids at least. We'll see if we can fulfil that. And then Ben's got his own master plan for securing his objectives as well. But we'll see how his turn out as he goes along. You'll soon get an idea of what he's up to. So we failed to steal the initiative. Tyranids are going to go second. Ben's going first. So it's movement for the Grey Knights on turn 1. Turn 1 movement for the Grey Knights. It's going to be interesting this one, Maelstrom of War. You're going to be jumping about all over the place trying to capture objectives, so it's going to really mix the game up. So Ben's moved out with the 2 Dread Knights there, just swinging around, so immediately the Lictors are going to be in trouble. We'll try and survive. Land Raiders on the move as well. There's 5 Grey Knight Terminators inside there. The other squad's just moving around here, and then the Librarian and the Paladins moving up in this direction. So aggressive movement from the Grey Knights as they move on turn 1. Going to go into the psychic phase now, see what powers they can manifest. Right, so I'm just not sure about these missions. I think Tyranids, we might just not try and be too technical. We're just trying to slaughter everything. I think that might be the best option. Ben's just manifested the power here. He's
Gates of Infinity.
Gates of Infinity. We tried to stop him, but we couldn't. So aggressive with these Grey Knights. They're moving in now, so you'll get to shoot there. You might try and cast something else, no doubt. But so the Librarian has shifted over there. Strange when the Tyranids are under attack, but it seems to be the way the game is going already. Okay, he's now given them Hammer Hand, so they're on +2 strength. We didn't want to stop him. He's just granted them Force as well. We've been unable to stop that, so it's a hyper psychic unit over there at the moment. With that Librarian, yeah, he's Mastery level 3, so. And Paladins, it's a small looking unit, but there's a lot of points in there and a lot of power. I'm not sure if a load of Gaunts are going to be able to do much about it. But we have got Psychic Scream here, if we can get close enough, but then I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Right, he's now going to try and roll. Why?
I've already passed it.
Oh no, he's rolled Vortex of Doom. He's gonna. Oh dear, we're trying to stop it now. He rolled. He got 3 points. We need a 666 here. Oh, close. Not bad, but not good enough. So brace yourself for a Vortex.
So
there. He's thrown the Vortex and he's missed. So he's fumbled with the grenade. Hallelujah. So we that's not too bad, but he's still got shooting to go, but that's all right. Okay. So the key for the Tyranids on their turn will be to breed. Shooting for the Grey Knights on turn 1. He fired his flaming thing that's now got Soul Blaze apparently. So one of the Lictors caught on fire, danced around, and then got hosed down by the silencer. So the Lictor died a nasty death. But we've rolled the Soul Blaze. Its fire's gone out, thankfully, so the other 2 Lictors are able to move about. Dead, really. Dead meat, really, but never mind. And then coming across here, just shooting across, total of about 8 or 9 of the Gaunts have been killed from fire from the Paladins there. That's done. There's no assaults, so it is now Tyranid turn 1. We're just going to have to weather the storm until our reserves start arriving. So badly going to Morlock that Paladin group. Right, so Tyranid turn 1, and we're just trying to not panic. Not that Tyranids do panic, but I'm just trying to keep the objectives going. I'm not going to keep running through all 6 here. I'm just going to run through the ones that I think I can complete. Capturing objective number 3. Now I've moved 5 inches in. If I can roll a 6 when I run, we might be able to capture that objective at the end of the turn. Ben's not quite within 3, so there's a possibility there. And then there is another objective. I'll get D3 victory points if I control 2 objectives and at least twice as many. Now Ben only holds 1, so I can fulfill this mission and get D3 victory points. That'll give us a good head start. So what we've done is the gaunts have surged ahead, but they're still holding this one here and then stretching all the way up to about there. Tervigons move forwards, and then it has bred 12 more gaunts and no doubles rolled, so it's good. Just trying to ease our way past the vortex. That could go anywhere, so I'm hoping it actually goes back onto Ben's paladins. But if we can then take objective 1, then we can get ourselves some victory points. So the units may die, but we can knock up some points and ultimately try and win the game. Just early stages really, so there's no need to panic too much. We're going to go on to the psychic phase now on Tyranid turn 1. Right, it's a psychic phase, just Dominion here. There's no other powers we're able to do. Psychic Scream's just too far away. So, that's that done, and the vortex moved over here, killing one of the gaunts. It could have gone worse. So that's not bad. Going on to shooting now on turn 1. So, shooting for the Tyranids, you fired ahead of all the gaunts, and you managed to get a wound on one of the paladins, so that's good going. Other than that, that's it. This one fired cluster spines and didn't do any damage. And the lictors only ran 2 inches, so we haven't captured that objective there, so they look doomed. But good news, we control 1 objective here, 1 objective there. Ben only controls 1, so we have fulfilled supremacy. So we're going to get D3 points for that. 2 points. That's good. So that's the end of the turn for Tyranids. We're going to roll in now to Grey Knight turn 2. On turn 2, these guys have gone upstairs. I think they hear a rumbling under the ground, so they've gone up. Oh dear. So a Morlock attack is going to be no surprise, but the Storm Ravens turned up and flying in with the Land Raider in support, so it's combined arms coming in now. Real domination once again. Same kind of behaviour we've seen in the games against the Dark Elder, so this is what we can expect from this Grey Knight force. Paladins kind of spread out, Librarian in the middle. I really hope that Vortex lands on top of them. They're coming around. The 2 lictors have been set upon by the Dreadnoughts. It almost seems not fair, but I'm not panicking yet. So I'm going to go on the Vindicare. It's there, right. So we're going to go on to the Psychic phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 2. Right, so Psychic phase, he's activating Force and a few other things across the table. The 2 Dreadnoughts over there. But he fired Cleansing Flame through here, and all the Gaunt units are caught on fire. Killed 7 from the first unit, 8 from the next unit. So there's a whole load of burning Tyranids in that corridor there. And then the Vortex has moved back here, so it's dancing around, but it hasn't caught anybody, really. So that's it, and that marks the end of the Psychic phase for the Grey Knights. So we're going to go on to the shooting phase coming up now. Ben's just working on his shooting now. A turbo shot coming in from the Vindicar. It's caused 2 wounds, ignores cover. It's caused 2 wounds there on the Tervigon. And then a few more wounds coming in from the Storm Raven, so really getting picked on there. And then the Paladins firing through have destroyed that smaller Gaunt units. They're gone. So Tyranids really under pressure here now, and he's just going to try and finish off the lictors. And then he's fired in, and there's a surprise. The lictors have gone. They've been cleansed, so it's the end of them. So tattered and torn. The Tyranids are still on the table, but they've taken a beating. That marks the end of the phase. There's no assaults, so we're going to go into Tyranid turn 2. Desperately need some reserves to turn up. Right, here we go, a big cluster of stuff. Let's see how we do. Hive Crone, let's bring it on. Yes, on a 5. The Raveners, yes, they arrive. The Lictors, yes, they arrive. The Morlock, no! And then the Trigon, no. Oh, this is strange. And the other Trigon, no. And then the Hive Tyrant, no. Can you roll triple 1 like that? But never mind. Half the force arrives, so we'll bring them on, see if we can make a difference. Perhaps, actually, latecomers securing objectives towards the end of the game might be a good idea, because if not on the table, you can't kill me. Right, so movement for the Tyranids on turn 2. Only half the stuff to arrive, so we've still got some stuff to come on. Raveners have arrived here, in a quieter area of the table, but it may not stay quiet as the Grey Knights can move around quite quick. Coming across, Lictors arrived here, sitting on objective number 6, which is one of the ones we're going for. And then the Gaunts have moved forwards aggressively, and the Tervigon as well, which is in 6 inches just about for its Psychic Stream. We'll try and get that going. And then another unit of Gaunts spawned, no doubles yet, just sitting there holding objective number 4, so not giving up yet. Hive Crone's turned up, Vector striked the Dread Knight and has caused a wound, and then is making a beeline for the Storm Raven. Going to try and fire a Tentaclid. So we'll see what happens. We're going to go on to Psychic Phase now for the Tyranids on turn 2. Right, Psychic Phase for the Tyranids then, not too much, only rolled a 3, but we passed Psychic Scream, but we failed to roll high enough. Vortex Grenade shifted over, and one of the Paladins has been sucked into the abyss. Shooting Phase then coming up for the Tyranids now to try and do some wounds on his unit. Right, so shooting for the Tyranids on turn 2. Fired a Tentaclid, but Ben evaded, which is a shame. And then coming around, Gaunts firing ahead, did no damage. Cluster Spines, no damage from the Tervigon. But a shot in the back from the Lictors has wounded one of the Paladins. So we're going to go on to assaults now. Just a run move up here as well. The Raveners are ravening up the side of the bunker there. So assaults, we may charge the Gaunts in. Might be a silly thing to do, but got a tactic where we might be able to pin him down. They'll be fearless in combat, so we'll see what happens. Right, just charging in here. The Gaunts have made it into combat. We've lost a couple going in. It's a suicide mission, but we want just to survive and then pin him in position on his turn at least. It gives us some slight chance. So can he do it? Ben will go first. You have to see the funny side of things. That's the end of the combat there. The Gaunts charged in. They were cut down to 2, and then we've just soul blazed. Another one died. So there's one burning Gaunt left. but he's fulfilled his job. He's going to hold his ground there, and has pinned down that Paladin unit on Ben's turn. So that Paladin unit is now not free to move around however he pleases. But I've just realised something. There are Grey Knight Terminators in the Land Raider. So it's not going too well, but we'll keep fighting. We've taken a wound off here. We've regenerated a wound, so 3 wounds there. So try and keep that Turvagon alive. But pressing on now, I'm going to go on to Grey Knight turn 3 now, coming up. The Grey Knights on turn 3. Dread Knights moved around this direction here. Storm Raven's gone and has now moved up and over here. The other Dread Knight has shunted 30 inches and has turned up behind the Tyranids here. We really are being hunted here to extinction on this planet. And then coming around, the last Gaunt's just holding on in combat whilst he's on fire. And then, as predicted, the Terminators have piled out of the Land Raider and are going to cleanse the Lictors from the ruins here. And just coming around the squad, it's moving off. Looks like he's going to try and ignore the Raveners, but we're fast, so we might be able to catch him and devour a unit there. Not going to give up yet, going to keep fighting. The game's not over. So Psychic Phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 3. Just on the Psychic Phase here, Ben has accomplished one of his missions. It was to secure Objective 1, and there was a point in turn, and it was turn 2 where I wasn't quite on the objective marker there. He got the 3 inches. So he's accomplished that one. So the score at the moment is 2-1. So Psychic Phase done. Ben's just been casting Hammerhand all over the place here. These guys, the Terminators, have got it. The Paladins have got Hammerhand, and then the Dread Knight as well. We tried to stop him, but we couldn't. So that's the end of the Psychic Phase. It's going to go on to shooting now for the Grey Knights on turn 3. Right, shooting for the Grey Knights on turn 3. He's fired up here some snap fire from the Dread Knight at the Hive Crone and caused a wound. We passed our grounded test, so we're still flying about. Wouldn't have minded actually coming down, but doesn't matter. And then the Dread Knight firing here burnt a whole load of the Gaunts, but we survived from some Gatling shots. So there's 3 of those still left fearless with the Synapses creature. 1 more wound dealt out on the Turvagon from the Vindicar Assassin way up there on the top of the bunker. And then fire from the Land Raider and from the Grey Knight Terminators has brought down one of the Lictors and wounded one of the others. And then fire from here against the Raveners hasn't caused any damage. We're 3+ for the bunker and then +1 for Conqueror of Cities. So we're on 2+, so pass now saves quite well. That's a good move that they're around there. I've got Rending Claws. We'll try and take on some unit. We may have to revert to the tactics that we used with the Dark Elder, and that was using Tyranid units to gang up on Grey Knight units to pick them off. Ben is spread about across the table here, so we're still going to put a fight up here. 3 big monstrous creatures to come on and the Flying Hive Tyrant. We'll see what happens as we go on now to assaults for turn 3, and there are quite a few. He's going to try and charge the Dread Knight in. There's a couple of assaults. The Terminators here. Ben's going to roll up to see if he can go in. So it's less 2. So he's rolling up. Oh, he's in. So that's fine. And he's rolled there successfully, so we've got a nasty combat on him. Glad we took Rending Claws, but it may not be enough. We'll have to see. Right, so the Lictor will die, but I so badly want to rend some Grey Knights. That's not bad, that's not bad. So that's 3 hits. 666, and I'm going to leap for joy. Oh no, it's 2 saves. A couple of 1s would be good. He's rolled the wrong dice. Yes, he did. He got a 1. Yes. So we've killed one. So that's made us happy before we die, before we're taken out. Spen's going to roll up his attacks now. He's just going to roll the Thunder Hammers here just for the sake of instant death. Make it a quick and clean kill. See, he needs force to hit. So he wants his hits. He's got 1 hit. Now a 1 might spoil things. He did get a 1. Lictor lives. We wanted to roll the Thunder Hammers first, just to make it quick, clean death, but he's actually messed them up. So all he's got left is 2 Halberds.
2 attacks each, so charge.
Yeah, so Halberds here, 4 attacks. He could mess this up. And he's got his 2 hits. He could be already on a wound. So we want another 1 and we live. Oh, shame, shame. Never mind, the Lictor's gone. So Ben can consolidate now. The Lictor's been destroyed.
I'm coming back.
And he's sitting on Objective 6. Now, if you look around the table, Objective 6 is under control. Objective 1 pretty much. He's jumped over here to Objective 4. So you can see what Ben's doing. Objective 3 is under control. So he's in control over half the objectives now. So, well spread out, but there is a plan behind it. And he's just going to try and take out the Gaunt here. No point really in rolling. Just as you think the game's lost, 5 Terminators have charged in here. We're at initiative 5. His grenades negate the cover, but we're still higher initiative, so we're going to go first to the Raveners. 4 attacks each. We've actually got a big cluster of hits here, and we're rending. So, weapon skill, Ben, 4. We're weapon skill 5. There is an opportunity here. 4 attacks each of getting some damage here. I'd love to bring these down. Let's roll this up. 3's to hit. It looks average. It's about average. Now, out of this cluster of dice here, 6s we want. 5 6s, and the Tyranids will have something to celebrate. That's 1. 3 Rens. So Ben's now got to make invuns for those. We'll calculate the rest in a minute. This is a pressure roll here. It's fouled miserably there, so that's 3 of the Terminators have gone from rending hits. So we're strength 4. So Ben now has to make a further 7 saves. So rolls of a 1 are going to be bad news. In fact, a double 1 and he'll be gone. Oh, well done. Very well done. So the Terminators are still in there. So Ben's going to roll up his attacks. But those Terminators have been knocked down significantly. Can they win the combat? So he's got the Halberds there. 4's to hit. He's got 2 hits. So he's on strength 7 for Hammerhand. It's not enough for instant death. He's got himself a wound. Now what a turn up that is. We win the combat. So there's a wound here. Justicar's still alive. So it's leadership 8 after the modifiers. He's got a 9. Come on. We roll a 2. Just get a 1. Oh, I think he escapes. That's a shame. But we'll hunt him down next turn. Yeah. But he might run off the table on a 7. I think he does. Ladies and gentlemen, the Raveners have performed a miracle.
They're off.
They're gone. The Raveners have chased off and scared away a unit of Terminators. So hurrah for the Raveners. The Tyranids are happy. We're going to press on with this game. That is mission accomplished. Well done. Only taking a single wound after that combat. So well done Tyranids. Let's press on now to Tyranid turn 3. Can we swing the game on our turn? To summarise here, because Ben's fulfilled a handful of objectives here, swung the game round. So for the Tyranids, we got supremacy and we scored 2, so it's 2 points so far to the Tyranids there. Ben's got first blood as well, by the way. And then coming across to the Grey Knights, he's got ascendancy, he rolled a 1, so it's a point there. And then he has captured objectives 6, 4 and 1 at some point so far in the game. So that puts Ben on 4 points, and then first blood as well, 5. So it's 5-2 at the moment. So definitely winning for the Grey Knights, but Tyranids still with a glimmer of hope. So we're going to try and bring on the Hive Tyrant. We don't. That's very annoying. The Trigon is on. This Morlock is on, and the other Trigon is not on. So these two big guys are on. Some more reinforcements arriving. It's a shame the whole lot haven't arrived, but we'll go on to movement now for Tyranids on turn 3. Right, so the Morlock's coming on, and he wants to burst up right underneath that Librarian. It's the large blast markers here. Get a hit, and the game is on. Yes, we do! Right, it's probably going to cost the Morlock a mishap, because we're not going to be able to kill them all in our path, but it's worth it. 2 1s. So he has 3 invuns to make. Try and take as many with us as we can. No, 3 failed. So we haven't cleared this area, which means we're going to have a second roll. There's 4 guys left, 2s to wound. They all do. Ben's got some more invuns to make, and then we'll then mishap. So here we go. He's passed 2. So another 2 wounds, which is a whole paladin gone. Just another paladin down, and then we'll roll on the mishap table to see what happened. Yeah. So quite happy with that. That's a nice bit of wounds dealt out there. So we've rolled a 4. Good news is what we wanted is delayed. So we'll come back on next turn and have another go. Which is exactly what we wanted. So the Morlock's burrowed up, sucked a couple of paladins down with him, and then has disappeared again. So that's good moving there from the Morlock. Right, so Tyranid turn 3. The Trigon was meant to land here, and then has scattered to here. No problem. Just trying to go after this Dread Knight. He's used up his shunt and he hasn't got a force weapon. So it's about the best chance we have on the table with the Trigons. They're a bit outclassed in this game. Then coming across, we're going to try and Psychic Scream and then charge the Paladins there. And then we've spawned with no doubles again, a unit of 6 Gaunts. So all the Grey Knight stuff's on the table. He's lost a handful of Paladins and a unit of Terminators. So we've brought him down. I think we're still in this. There's a chance here, and then the Raveners, the victorious Raveners, are flying off towards this bunker, and they are going to try and seek their grisly revenge on that Vindicar assassin. So Tyranids, for the first time in this game, are holding their own a little bit. We've been on the back foot the whole time. Can we take hold of this game and turn it around? Pivotal moment here on turn 3. We're going to go into the psychic phase now. See what we can do. Right, in one big push of power, of psychic screaming, the Turbogon let out the biggest scream ever. It's brought down 2 Paladins. Vortex. We rolled, Ben's just going to roll the scatter for the Vortex here, and it's staying where it is. But the scream went out, we rolled a 6 and a 5, that's 11, plus 2 is 13. He had 3 invuln saves to make, the Bannerman died, and then the other Paladin died as well. It's just the Librarian left. What a turn up. We rolled us with Perils of the Warp, but we survived that. Now we're on 3 wounds here, so he'll have to get through 3 wounds. He has got a force weapon. Do we charge in? Or we could try another tactic. We may try and charge the gaunts in and pin him down. Sneaky stuff. But we're really fancying this now for the Tyranids. We cast the power. That's the only one we wanted to do. And now we're going to go on to shooting now for the Tyranids as they try and claw their way back, literally, into this game. Right, so shooting for the Tyranids on turn 3. Fired the Trigon here, got a wound, and Ben rolled a 1. So that's another wound down on the Dread Knight. And then no damage done on Ben's Librarian. Then fired Tentaclids across and got a glance. And then the Raveners have moved up 5 inches, running up there on their hunt for the assassin. That's it then. So we're going to go into assaults now. I'm going to think carefully about how to deal with that Librarian. Right, so assaults here. These guys failed to go in. Tervigon's gone in. And then those 3 gaunts in support as well. Ben's going to get to go first. We've got 2 wounds left. He has 3 attacks. He hasn't activated force here. He needs... Oh. He's only got 1 hit. Now get to cook up another 1. 2. He's at strength 7, so he's fouled. He hasn't done any damage. How many wounds do you have?
I've got
3 wounds, probably. Extra chance. Right, he's only got 2 wounds, I've just discovered. So, come on. Half. Right, okay, on average. Can't complain. 2's to wound. Yes. He's got 2 invuns of 4+, or the Warlord is slain. He's got a 6 and a 5. Oh, so he holds there. Right, it's down to the gaunts now. So, 4s. Whoa. They're up for the fight. And they do all right. Strength 3, toughness 4. 2 wounds. Double 1. Double 3. So it's a drawn melee. The fight continues. That marks the end of Tyranid turn 3. So we're going to go on now to Grey Knight turn 4. Tyranids are back in this, so Ben needs to think carefully about what he's going to do next as we go on. Oh, and by the way, another objective secured here. Objective number 5. So that gives us another points. 5-3 now the score. Right, so moving for the Grey Knights on turn 4. The Drag Knights jumped up and over 12. Heading off towards the Hive Crone, which is now in hover mode. And he's going to hover mode here with this Storm Raven. And he's going to try and dish out some wounds there. So Hive Crone's in a bit of trouble. Then coming around, this Dread Knight's moving up behind the Tervigon, trying to save the Librarian, and then the Terminator's moving up as well. Land Raider's just spun around, and then the Vindicar Assassin's just going to stay where he is. So I'm going to go into the Psychic phase now. Still a lot of nasty stuff for the Grey Knights. There's no way you can take them for granted or underestimate them, that's for sure. If we're going to win this game, it's going to be a long, hard slog. Ooh, we've just denied force on the Librarian here in this Psychic phase. So Ben's frustrated about that. It's a good roll in resistance to it. Let's just put force on this Dread Knight. We can't stop everything, but a significant over 1 there. A significant 1 over there has been stopped. What's that on? Yeah, it's got force on those guys. So, looks like Tyrion's going to be dealt out a nasty blow here into this turn.
Both the Dread Knights have got force.
Both the Dread Knights have got force.
And the Librarian Hammerhand. I've got Hammerhand.
And he's giving the Hammerhand to Librarian, dishing out a lot of psychic abilities here on his turn. That's Grey Knight shooting on turn 4. 1 wound on the Trigon. That came from a shot from the Vindicar Assassin. He's pretty much dealt out 1 wound or more every turn. It's been a real pain. And then coming across here, he's just holding in his shots because he's waiting to charge into the Tervigon. And then 5 from the Land Raider has caused just 1 wound on the Raveners. And then the Hive Crone's gone. He was in glide mode and he was shot up from behind by the Dread Knight there. So it's a shame he's gone. He got a victory point, but that's the end of the Hive Crone. So we're going to go into assaults now for the Grey Knights on turn 4. Right, so combats, here's the situation. The Terminators have charged in, but they're only in contact with the Gaunt units. He's going to have to destroy those before he can move on to the Tervigon. And then the Terminator is going to have to carry on fighting against the Tervigon here. Now, we recovered a wound last turn, so we are on 3 wounds. So we're still half alive. We recovered a lot of wounds on this unit here. So what we're going to have to do is survive the attacks from the Librarian. And if we do, we can hit him back. We'll strike first because the Dread Knight has had to go through cover to reach me. So we've got another chance at bringing this figure down. So he's on 4s to hit. Well, that's a cock dice. I bet he gets a 4. Does. He's got 3 hits. Okay. Strength.
+1 strength, +7 hand, so +3 strength, so
7. Strength 7. 1s and 2s, please. Oh, yay, 2 wounds. If we hadn't regenerated, we would have been dead. So there's 2 wounds to us, total of 5. So we're still alive by a whisker. So we get to strike back. Come on, at least some kind of wound. 1 hit. 1 wound. 1 invuln. Ah, he won't die. He won't die. So the Terminators have wiped out the Gaunts there, and now the Dread Knight. Ben's going to roll up to see if he can finish me off. Should be able to do it. 3s to hit. Still got the hits. Yeah, he's mega strength, and that'll do. Tervigon gone. Did well, but not well enough. So Ben's going to consolidate all his units here. And then that will mark the end of turn 4 for the Grey Knights. So really that marks the advantage well and true, swinging back in the favour of the Grey Knights. He's cleared that area out. Objective 3 is secure apart from a unit of cowering Gaunts. So we've dealt out damage, but it's probably not going to be enough. Tyrion's going to press on here. I'm not going to surrender until the last creature is gone. So we're going to move on now to Tyranid turn 4. So Witch Hunter has been fulfilled by Ben. There's another victory point is knocked up there. So Grey Knights knocking these up, doing them well. Right, as you can see on the battlefield here, Grey Knight's dominating, there's hardly any Tyranids around. Still got the Morlock actually to come back up. So, one Morlock, 1 Trigon to come on, and the Hive Tyrant, they're all going to automatically arrive. So, we're going to keep going. Keep plugging away, try and gang up on units, and see how we do. We have caused damage. Librarian's now joined the last unit of Terminators. The Paladins have gone, and the other unit of Terminators have gone. And there's a nice target there for the Morlock to come up and surprise. So we'll keep going. We'll see what happens. Now turn 4 could be crucial. Right, so we want the Morlock to arrive there. And he's very hungry. Here we go. So a nice plum hit would be good. I know. It's actually a shame the Morlock lands there. Never mind. So the Morlock's landed. Not where he wanted to land, but could have been worse. Moving for the Tyranids on turn 4. The Hive Tyrant's finally arrived. He's moving in. Now we've got a little bit of a plan, trying to get some points knocked up here. He's going to try and move on to objective 3, which is one of the objectives that we're after. Got to keep the points coming in. And then the Raveners are going to have their revenge on the Vindicator Assassin, trying to eliminate him from the table. Moving 12 inches up, they're beasts. And then the Trigon has moved up 5 inches. Really, that's the only target we've got. Try and take out those Terminators with a whole load of attacks. There's a good chance there. Morlock failed to do his terror from the deep attacks. He's scattered onto the ruin just there. He's actually underneath the ruin now on the first level. And then the gaunts just applied my result there, just cowering in the terrain. Just gone inside that area terrain there, and that's all they can do. Be allowed to shoot though. And then the Trigon, just trying to ratchet up points here, has landed bang on objective number 6. At least they're handy for that, deep striking ability. But they're a bit late coming on, but they've still got some significant Tyranid forces on the table. So can we pick off any more of these units? I'm going to roll up now for the psychic phase. Another psyker on the table, so we'll see what we can do. So we've cast the horror there. The Vindicator is pinned, terrified. Who wouldn't be if they're upstairs and all those beasts coming up? But that's it for psychic phase, not much at all. Shooting now for the Tyranids on turn 4. I didn't realise here the Librarian isn't part of that unit. He didn't join it, so it's just he was part of the Paladin unit. So it's just the Terminators that we're fighting against. So some chance there. The combat goes on, and then we have a charge upstairs. 10. They're in. Right, so 2 tasty combats here. Snapfire from the terrified Vindicator. So bad news, the Terminators have got Hammer Hand and Force, so Trigon's in trouble. We're initiative 4, he's initiative 4, so simultaneously going to kill each other. He's rolled a 111 over there. He's got 2 hits. No, strength 6, toughness 6, pressure. He needs 1 4-up. Oh, he's done. So it's AP3 with Force. It's been killed on instant death, so Trigon is dead. But how many do we take out as we die? Yeah, weapon skill 5. So 2 misses, 5 hits. 2's to wound. All of them. So he's got 5 invuln saves to make. Could actually kill him, would you believe it, if he fails these. Pressure roll here. Yeah.
All dead.
Killed each other. I don't think we've ever done that in our games. Both units simultaneously killing each other. What a vicious fight. Well, we'll take that any day of the week. Exchanging 1 Trigon for one of his Terminator units. Well done. Well done. That's impressive stuff. When Grey Knights lose units, it hurts because the army's so small. Terminator's on his own, or the Librarian is on his own. Monstrous creatures still around. There could be an opportunity for a hero to emerge and to slay them with his force weapon. Wouldn't put it past him. But that's a successful combat there. Just rolling up here for the Raveners going in. And it looks like we're below average here. He's weapon skill 8, so it's 4s we need. That is about one of the worst rolls. Not too bad. We've failed all those and passed those. So in fact, he may not die. 666 would be nice. Oh, we've done it! 4 6s. He does have invuns though. So he's going to make the invuns, which he passes all of them apart from 1. And then he's also got 2 regular armor saves to make as well of the 2+, double 1. No. So, shock result there. Thought that would be an easy one. When in fact, he's fearless, so melee continues. At least the Vindicator's pinned down, but we're surprised at that. We thought we'd take him out, but he has survived. So he'll survive on now, into Grey Knight turn 5. Couple of victory points for us. We have secured objective number 6 and secured objective number 3. So 2 more victory points for the Tyranids. That's good going. Move on now and see how well the Grey Knights do in their turn. Ben says the game's tight. That's his official verdict at the moment, which it is, but there's still... It's gone now. Alright, the Vortex is gone. He's just rolling up psychic stuff here. But just to recap on his movement, he's still got some key units moving about the place. So, as I predicted, the Dread Knight's going to go after the Hive Tyrant. Some real classic combat's going to have taken place and will take place in this game. Just in hover mode now with the Storm Raven swinging round. Good gun platform, that one. And then coming around here, a Jump Monsters creature. Brilliant movement you get with these things. He's moved up and over, and he's going to try and take out the Gaunts. Well, we're not too fussed about that. But Grey Knights have departed from this area, apart from the Librarian. A lone hero defiantly wants to take out the Morlock, which he probably will, no doubt. So the Land Raider just coming across here. So kind of still sensing that the Grey Knights have this one. But Tyranids certainly have given themselves, certainly have given a good account of themselves in this game, and still with a chance of victory. I'm not going to give up quite yet. We'll see what happens as we go into the psychic phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 5. Psychic phase for the Grey Knights, Force and Hammerhand on the Dread Knight here. Really valuable psychic powers the Grey Knights have. And then coming around, he failed with Hammerhand, with Force. He failed with Force on the Dread Knight here. And then he cast Gates of Infinity, and the Librarian disappeared, leaving the Tyranids in confusion, and then reappeared over here on the bunker. Good move. Good move. That's sly stuff from the Grey Knights. You think like a Grey Knight Force small army would just lumber around the table. They don't. They dance about all over the place. It's actually a fast, highly manoeuvrable force here, and it's outwitting the Tyranids, that's for sure. So shooting phase now. This is going to be nasty down here. Might say goodbye to the Hive Tyrant as we go on to Grey Knight turn 5 shooting. Right, it's just a temporary loss of sound in the video there. Happens sometimes. So just recapping what happened here in the shooting phase. Ben's Dread Knight firing ahead at the Winged Hive Tyrant. Got a number of hits, and he's got Force on that gun, so any unsaved wounds would be dead. And here's my 2 saves, a 2 and a 1. So he failed, and the Winged Hive Tyrant was brought down. A significant blow, that one. That's the Warlord killed, and one of my powerful units taken out. So that's good shooting from the Grey Knights. Another significant blow to the Tyranid force. And then the only other significant shooting really was the other Dreadnought around here. It cleansed and burnt out the last of the Gaunts just there. So another unit taken out by the Dreadnoughts, proven to be some of the best units in this Grey Knight army for Ben. Right, so now we're on combats. So Ben goes first with his Vindicator Assassin. Just about 4 attacks he gets. Just rolling up. He did a number of wounds. So I then had to make a few saves, of which he passed 1. So he took a couple of wounds, and that killed one of the Raveners. But then I moved up the last Ravener up there. So we'd get 5 of them attacking. So a big fistful of dice in return to strike back. So we're going to roll those up. Pretty good rolls there. Needing 4 pluses with Ben's really high weapon skill. But happy with that. And then with the Rending Claws, which is a good choice to take in the army. I'm looking for 6s, and then also wounding on 4 pluses as well. So a good number of 6s coming up, which is good. That puts pressure on Ben. Still a couple of wounds to get through on him there. He's rolling up his invuns just at the top of the screen. And then he will also have to roll some armor saves as well, regular armor saves. Those are just coming up now. Any 1s, and then he's in trouble. And we did. So that was the end of the Vindicator Assassin. So Ravener's excellent performance from them. Good unit choice, very fast, good combat power. So just an update here on the victory points. Ben's just accomplished this one here behind enemy lines. That's a victory point there. And then so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just 4 here for the Tyranids. So not bad. 6-4 as far as points are concerned. A couple other points that Ben can get. Slay the Warlord on First Blood. But not bad going. And then we've just drawn a new one, Big Game Hunter. And that means we'll get a victory point if we kill a monstrous creature. And you can guess where that opportunity is. Yes, if we slay that Dreadnought, then we'll get that victory point. So we're going to do movement now for the Tyranids on turn 5. Right, Tyranid turn 5 movement. There's no infantry left for anybody. All that's left is monstrous creatures and vehicles, apart from one librarian who keeps teleporting all over the table, so he doesn't count. The Raveners have moved down 12 inches, nice and fast. And I'm going to try and fulfill that mission there at least. And then the Morlocks moved out a few 3 inches, and then the Trigons moved out 5 inches from cover. I doubt we'll reach the... no, we won't. I think that's impossible. Yeah, so those are out of range. They'll not be able to charge. We'll just get shots in. So, no psychers, no psychic phase, and no shooting. I'm just going to do a few run moves and then it's straight into assaults. Quick turn this one for the Tyranids. It's just a shooting phase there. The Morlock moving 5 inches, and then the Trigon moving 3 inches, just trying to close in on this Dreadnought here, hunting him down. Bit of a showdown there. Got to take out one of these things. And then over here, we've got an assault now, so we'll just roll it up. There's no need to really. Yep, we're in, and Ben's going to do his Overwatch. Right, so having that force power activated, it counts in the Gatling silencer there. So he got a couple of hits, wound, we passed one save. So 1 wound, which became, with the force weapon, instant death. So 1 Ravener gone. But we've got 4 in, and I think we're going to get to go first. So it's initiative 4, so we will go first. On the charge, that's 20 attacks. There's some chance. He's got no wounds on that Dreadnought. We're going to have to perform really, really well in order to win this one. We've got to just kill it, otherwise we're in huge trouble. So we're going to roll up these dice here. Still a fistful of dice. His weapon skill 5 is matching ours, so those 3s there won't count, and look how significant that is. There's a load of 3s there. Wrens. Not bad, can't complain. 2 Wrens there. That's it. 2 Wrens. The 2 invuln saves are 5+. Oh, he's passed 1, so we've got 1 wound. We've winged him, but that's all. And now he's going to strike back. Right, so Ben's attacks here. Oh, 4 hits. Yeah. 2 pluses here, and then they're gone. Oh no! Well, dude. Yes, he's used his fists. AP2. So they're AP2. Their strength 10. The Raveners are gone. They've been squished. So we dealt a wound, but they couldn't stand up to the strength of that Dreadnought. It's one of the most evil units in the 40k game, in my opinion. So we lost the combat there. Ben's going to consolidate in a minute, and then we're going to go on to a Grey Knight turn 6. If the game continues, we'll have to see. So 1 or 2, the game ends. Turn 6 coming up. Ben has rolled a 6 there, so we're going to carry on. Grey Knight turn 6 coming up. Just 2 Tyranid monstrous creatures left on the table. Right, so Grey Knight turn 6. Librarian's moved down. Very lonely at this side of the table. In fact, he's the only thing alive in this half of the table. There's nothing else left. Coming across here, all the machines are converging on the monsters. This guy's backed off. And then the Land Raiders moved up. Then he's shunted the last shunt that he had available. With the Dreadnought here, has moved up over from there to here. And then the Storm Raven just on patrol as well. It's handy that you can go into hover mode and do that, just providing fire support all over the table. Ben's used it effectively. So we're going to go into the psychic phase now for the Grey Knights on turn 6. Right, so psychic phase for the Grey Knights. He's just arming himself here, preparing for the fight. Force activated on here, and then on the Dread Knight over there as well, and Hammerhand as well on there. So just preparing himself for the coming fight. Just firing the Gatling Silencer here, and it's force activated, so could be trouble. 6 is to wound. Oh, 666. We have to pass these, otherwise we're dead. We're dead. Oh dear. So it's the Trigon gone. Just the Morlock left. Next Gatling Silencer to win the game. Morlock's in trouble. Ben's going to roll up here. So 1 good round of shooting, and the game could be over. So it's about average there. Oh, glad he didn't get that many 6s to wound. Now he's going to roll up. 6s he wants, 6s he gets, 2 of them. So, any 1s or 2s here and the game's over. Double 2. Game over. Tyranids have been wiped out once again. So, that is the game finished. The Tyranids don't even get to see turn 6. Morlock's been destroyed by the Gatling Silence there. Force activated once again. So, what we're going to do is fulfilling a number of other missions here, is bringing them in. Right, so just adding up the points here, Ben got first blood, he got Slay the Warlord, the Hive Tyrant was killed, and he got Linebreaker here, just a few inches over into our deployment zone. So that's 3 points to start off with, and then victory points, he managed to get a few more in at the end. Number of objectives there, 5 objectives secured, so that's 3, 8, and then 1, 2, 3 others, that's 11. And then for the Tyranids we secured 3 objectives and then fulfilled a mission as well, that's 4. So 11-4 final score. So Tyranids have been beaten quite soundly, but they gave a pretty good account of themselves. Killed a whole load of heavy infantry, but didn't do well enough. There are faults with this force, and they have been beaten. Tyranid army, difficult one to master we think, but it's been a success here. Ben has victory once again. He's working his way up the ladder. Dark Elder have been knocked out of the way. Tyranids have been overcome, and no doubt he will be after the next force on our channel to try and beat it and earn a reputation for this Grey Knight force. And they have already. That is definitely one of the high performing forces on this channel.